Episode 7, Digital Dove, Shrilly Cooks. We are back.
I'd like to say that by the episode 7 we figured this out, but we're still playing audio.
We're still not. And the last time we recorded, Shrilly was in where? Oh, you were actually in your kitchen, but on your cell phone or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Your computer was somewhere else. In the meantime, Shrilly went to half of South America to these random Chabad houses that have incredible stuff going on.
Yeah.
I went to, I think, about 10 different camps, entertained about, 4,000 to 5,000 different kids in the last 10 days. I drove 2,500 miles at that time.
And that's all in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania.
All New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And let me tell you, heading back from the mountains on Thursday night is so gratifying because everyone heading up is stuck in traffic all the way from the thruway all the way. It's crazy. I actually videoed it last night because
I know that feeling. Whenever you're going in the opposite direction of the traffic, it's very gratifying. It's
amazing. So we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
So first of all, there's specific kind of Jews. There's and I'm sure as a guy who works with all these supermarkets. Well, just look at our podcast.
Talk about Jews this week.
Talk about Jews. Just look at the two of us. By the way, yes, it's another Under Armour shirt. I literally have about 20.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I just changed the color on AI.
You just so I did notice that, by the way. So you know how you go to supermarkets and there's that guy, there's the guy who's on FaceTime with his wife, there's the lady with the list and the book, and I have a new guy. It's guy on his way up to the bungalow guy. There's that guy. And that guy is usually just buying the most ridiculous kiddish food ever. And
he's by himself?
He's by himself. He usually is he's usually a guy who 10 minutes ago was in a suit, but now is in his weekend getaway outfit of shorts that he really shouldn't be wearing and a polo shirt and his baseball hat. What
you're basically describing is the guy whose family is in the bungalow during the week, but he's working in Brooklyn.
Correct.
And then he's working back up for Shabbos.
Exactly. So he's at the supermarket buying just ridiculous, 48 containers of Raskin's herring or something. And it's clearly dude, we know this is for the kiddish. Now there's that guy. There's also the guy in the wine store on his way up to the bungalow guy. We know him, who's got 87 bottles of tequila, and he's got the list from all his friends. But then there's that guy who shouldn't be shopping for the snacks for his kids, but he is. And he's in the he just has no clue. Just grabbing everything, no clue. By the way, the amount of snacks for kids. When we grew up, what did we have? We had Bisli, right?
But we didn't. It wasn't. It was Super Snacks.
Super Snacks. Which, by the way, who can still taste the heartburn you got from the onion ring Bisli Super Snack? No, the Super Snacks. The onion ring.
But I wouldn't eat them because I didn't like how they tasted.
First of all, they chopped up your mouth like a ginsu knife. Your mouth was complete. But I love those. But I'm getting heartburn just thinking about them. What other snacks did we have?
Heartburn from the onion ring ones.
That's the one I'm talking about. The onion ring,
not the Super Snacks. The actual onion rings.
The Wise ones. I actually like those. I like
very
those.
Heavy.
The what's worse is there's a kosher brand of them, which the chip itself is much stronger, and it really cuts your mouth up.
It has a terrible taste.
What? I'm not talking about. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus.
You're talking about, but in general, a lot of those. I don't know. Some of the dupe snacks that are the kosher Cheetos one. I don't know if that's legit. I don't know. I never really had Cheetos because I can't.
Kosher Doritos, the Israeli.
Okay,
Doritos?
The kosher Israeli Doritos are good, but I think that's just a manufacturing plant thing. They're not changing anything. It's Doritos.
Yeah, it's literally it's amazing. But so, when we were growing up, we had Super Snacks. We had, I don't know, there was all that Pashkas and Bloom stuff. I never understood that.
Utz, the Utz chips.
That's a national brand.
Right, but I don't know. When I was a kid, we would get like those Dipsy Doodles for 25 cents from Wines. You know those Dipsy Doodles.
Dipsy Doodles. Oh man,
I actually used to like what are they called, Bugles?
Bugles. That was
you used to put on your finger.
Yeah.
They were
That was an interesting candy. That was an interesting chip. It had like a very unique taste. It was kind of like sweet and savory at the same time, right?
It was different than regular things. I don't know. It was like a cone shape. I mean, I guess I don't know if they're just not popular.
And didn't they come in a box? Right? They came in a box. If I recall.
Not sure.
So we had Bugles, we had Super Snacks, we had the regular like Wise Utz potato chips.
Yeah,
those
chips everyone has had. I remember it's like a lot of Wise stuff, like that green bag, like the
Wise onion garlic. The Wise onion garlic was the best potato chip. Wise onion garlic.
Are you a salt and vinegar potato chip person? Yeah, it's like that's one of the ones that are like if you either love it or you hate it.
Oh, I hate it. It's actually one of my Digital Dove trivia questions is what is the worst potato chip flavor? And the answer is salt and vinegar, literally.
It became popular with the kids in the last, like maybe not now, but like 5 years ago. When my kids were younger, they were very into it.
When we were growing up, there was one barbecue potato chips, Wise barbecue potato chips, end of story. That was it. Now, there are many
tons of flavors.
Variations of barbecue. There's mesquite barbecue. There's kettle mesquite barbecue. There's honey barbecue. There's spicy barbecue. There's sweet barbecue. I happen to love them all. Barbecue potato chips are my jam. But
what about ketchup flavored ones?
Oh, that's illegal also, by the way. Those kids and the hot sauce ones, illegal. You shouldn't be allowed to make those. But I got to ask, my favorite chip is the barbecue Dipsy Doodle, specifically barbecue Dipsy Doodle. But do you notice what they did? They took the bag that used to be like, I don't know, 50 cents, whatever, and they made it this tiny little bag, and there's like 6 chips in it, and it's like 75 cents.
That I remember when I was younger, the Dipsy Doodle bags, they were yellow, they were 25 cents. I remember on the package it said 25
on the bag it said 25 cents. Now everything's got a sticker and it's like 3 for $7 and you're like, oh, that's a good price. And then you realize it's really not.
It's really actually funny because when I was a kid, I remember like the baseball cards with like the Gominette or whatever, and they would be like 50 cents a package, maybe, I think. And I remember people like, oh, when I was a kid, those were like 10 cents a package. How much are they now? Like, I don't even know, but if you go into like any like store that sells like trading cards, baseball cards, Pokemon cards, whatever, they've got to be like what, $3.50.
Surely we are officially old. We're complaining.
I always go back to that Back to the Future scene from Back to the Future 2 when he takes the taxi in the future, and the guy will be like, "That'll be $159." And when you're a kid, you're watching in the '80s, you're like, $150 for a taxi, but today. An Uber from JFK to Crown Heights.
That's right. In prime time, whatever that's called, peak pricing. That's right. So we got the snack guy. We got, and then there's also the Kalamedal who's doing the shopping for the family with her flip phone and her list. And she has
What do you mean? She's like the older daughter?
Older daughter. There's always that one. And then I saw the most fascinating thing yesterday. So I was at a supermarket in Muncie, and this lady was getting into one of the car service guys. Those. Why do they all have Priuses? I don't know why. That's what they drive. They're driving, and like they're picking up families with like 20 kids in a Prius, but whatever. And I was pulling out, and the lady was trying to get into her supermarket, and she had all her bags, and she had her kid, and she had a stroller. And this other lady comes over to her and goes, could you give me the baby? She was holding a baby and trying to like do the stroll, the bugaboo with like 1 foot. This lady goes, can you give me your baby? So it was so nice. This lady
she was just like, she herself was getting anxiety.
No, it wasn't anxiety. She literally couldn't do it. She was
like, let me help you.
Let me help you. It was really so nice. And she starts playing with the baby, and the lady loads all the car. I was like, Mr. Car Service guy, like, could you put her bags in the car? And he wouldn't do it, whatever. Okay. So this week we had some crazy experiences, both you and I. I was in a million different camps. I was actually yesterday. I did a thing called Yom Yachad, which is one of the most unbelievable events.
Yom Yachad.
Yom Yachad. So Yachad is an incredible organization for people with special needs. And they have programs in a lot of different camps. I think they're in like 8 or 9 different camps, something like that. And they do something called Yom Yachad, where all the Yachad participants and staff members get together.
Where do they get together? Where's this?
They do it at Goldshine's Homestead, which is my favorite place. Wow. It is awesome up in the Catskills. It's like this giant, they have these awesome things in Goldshine's Homestead. You should check it out. If you want to go glamping or camping, or if you just want to go see like a, a bunch of animals and stuff, they have like a puppy petting zoo and a this petting zoo and a that.
I haven't been great rides. Longest time. The longest.
It is, dude, it is literally, we'll talk about what's going on upstate because I've been spending a lot of time up there, but this Goldshine's Homestead is amazing. You should definitely go check it out with your family. They'll have a great time. But all the camps were there, I don't know, it's 500-600 people. Just such a beautiful event. Really, just the love in that space was amazing. I'm honored to be able to be the entertainment for this event. This is my second year in a row doing it. God willing, I'll keep doing it. And we just have a great time. And the ruach and the togetherness. It's like, this is what Klal Yisrael is about. And you have every single aspect of Judaism right there. You have some Hasidic people, Mono-Orthodox people. It's amazing. No. We were just there yesterday. It's
just in general,
Just in general, just for the yesterday. I haven't been there, but you can go to Goldshine's Homestead, I believe, for Shabbos, do glamping, camping, all that kind of stuff. You should definitely check it out. But you were in like
how many you're saying countries? That's a perfect segue. So every summer I do a solo trip, and I go usually south or central.
I'm a big influencer. I'm going on a trip. Ooh, yeah, okay.
I just enjoy you put yourself in situations where you have to like be a big boy,
To quote Rabbi Joey Haber, who is now I've spent, 60 hours in the car in the last 2 weeks. And between my Rebelli Stefanski shir, my other jam is Rabbi Joey, my podcast Rebbe, Rabbi Joey Haber, and I just listened to a shir he gave, get comfortable being uncomfortable, that you have to push yourself to get comfortable, to be uncomfortable. So you get comfortable.
Well, I think that sometimes being uncomfortable is is just basically a warning sign, but not necessarily doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means
correct.
It's a new thing. So, I'll tell you something funny. So a lot of this is like pushing myself to do things that I would never normally do. I also in general enjoy the culture in South and Central America. It's very different. And I don't go to the touristy places that are like, I grew up in Miami Beach. I don't need to do the hotel experience. I grew up with that. So I like going to like these more remote places and just seeing like daily life and really appreciating that these people are going on almost nothing. And we're the ones complaining that our internet's not fast enough, or I don't know, our gas is too much or whatever.
Or they didn't have the yellow cherry tomatoes this week. They only had the red ones.
Well, like I went to T-Mobile to get a new phone, and they didn't carry the 2 terabyte one. I have to get that.
Horse.
I'm like, or I could get it online and wait 2 weeks. Oh my God, this is like just the worst customer service. Over there, it's just like a guy like I went to go get eggs like Thursday. I bought myself a frying pan, toiled it in the ocean, and I said I'm gonna make myself shakshuka. I just went to the market, and it's just like, can I get some eggs? And the guy's like, how many do you want? And I'm like, I thought they come in a dozen. No.
I thought they come in a dozen.
He's like, I'll take 6. He puts it in a little Ziploc bag, and I'm carrying it around. I don't know. It's just an amazing experience. And then a big part of this is also that I make sure to do it near a Chabad, because for Shabbos, and if there is accessibility for kosher food if I need.
Which basically means you literally can go anywhere in the world at this point.
Yeah, not anywhere, but also certain Chabad houses are more set up for it. And I'll give you sort of like the hack. It's places where the Israelis kids, after they finish the army, they go on Tiyul. So there's a lot of places that they go. They travel a lot, but a lot of the places they hit up, there's like, it's a known destination. So for instance, I was in San Pedro in Guatemala, and in Colombia. So like those places are very popular with the Israeli kids that go there. I shouldn't call them kids, they're post-IDF. But they do that. They go to these places and they have so many people. Last year I was in Colombia that had over 100 Israeli kids buy the meal.
For Shabbos.
Yeah. Not staying there, but coming, and then they just hang out. And they come every evening for food, or, they they're chilling, they're relaxing. They know that they have a place wherever they go that they could come and have that, especially for Shabbos. So last Shabbos I was there, we had, I would say, about 70 plus people for Friday night dinner.
Wow. And where is this exactly?
This is in Montanita, which is in Ecuador. It's on the.
I couldn't even find Ecuador.
I couldn't either before these things. Whenever I research these places,
I can barely find Florida on the map, let alone Ecuador.
When I was in Guatemala is Central America. When I went the next year to Colombia, I was like, I wasn't even like myself sure. So I was saying, yeah, I'm going to Central America, and then someone's like, this is South America. I'm like, oh, cool, it's first time in South America. And then I ended up going back to South America this year. It's on the left coast. It's kind of confusing because it's the Pacific Ocean, but if you look at a map of our side of the hemisphere, like you have California here, you have New York, Florida here, and then if you go like that, you got Mexico. So it's like
it's still the Pacific Ocean, but it's all the way over.
The Pacific Ocean is like around here. It's like the more east side of the Pacific Ocean.
Geography with Shirley Meyer.
It's definitely not my that's not my strong suit, geography, but it's the Pacific Ocean, and I didn't even realize that we were so close to the ocean until we were driving. And my driver said, oh, it's because it was getting sunsets. He's like, oh, let me stop and show you a good place to take a photo. And then all of a sudden I was like, water. I was like, oh, I didn't realize we're literally right off the Pacific.
Wow.
But the Chabad house experience in these places is just beautiful because, like you were saying before, it's so many different types of people. Like, obviously there's a lot of Israeli kids, but even within the Israelis that are there, they're also like different levels. Like some are totally not religious, or some are a little bit religious. Some people, they come and they daven also.
But everyone does Shalom Aleichem, right? They always do
what
that.
Else is popular now? That they actually, by Kiddush, they actually sing that Yom HaShishi song. Yom HaShishi.
Right.
So you have like 75
Omer Adam's just a little bit popular. Just a little popular.
Yeah, but I didn't realize that it's like now like part of the liturgy. Like you before the rabbi's making Kiddush, you have 75 people singing, Yom HaShishi. It's beautiful.
Well, I mean, like, if you go to pretty much any shul, well, I'm not going to say any shul, most of the tunes that are sung for davening in today's day and age are not nusach. They're actually like popular tunes.
Yeah, but I think now we're seeing even the modern, as like the Israeli music world has sort of merged in some ways with the modern Hasidic Jewish music world.
Very interesting.
Way more popular, so.
I mean, you're seeing both crossover.
Right.
With, who do you say is the start of the crossover? It's very interesting.
Oh, it's obviously Al Golan with Misha Ma'amin. That was the beginning.
I
think that was the first.
But
that was more or less the first song.
So I'm talking the other way.
I mean, that led to the Yesh Tikvahs and all those,
I'm talking the other way. Who from the From world made it into the...
I mean, Fried is probably the first person that did that.
So Avram Fried was the first person who did that with that song. What's the song? What's it?
Well, he also released a lot of songs.
Oh my gosh, what's the song? It's killing me.
Are you talking about...
It was the old Israeli 70s hit that he did, and I'm blanking on the name. Rock Tefillah. Rock Tefillah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rock Tefillah was an old Israeli 70s disco song.
Didn't he sing it with the original singer?
He then, in a live concert, he did it with the guy. But to me, the artist that was the crossover from the From world to the not From world was Yishai Ribo. He became the guy.
Wait, you're saying from the Israeli music to...
On the Israeli... Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah, sure. Today, for sure.
Although, I mean, I might be missing Sholi Rand and guys like that, who also... But Ribo
depends
was
how
really...
you're defining secular Israeli artists.
Right.
Because you have Hanan Ben Ari was also a big one for a while.
But Ribo, I think, was the first one that really...
I think Ribo is the one who fully integrated into both markets.
Correct. And he also did a lot of that... duet stuff with a lot of those other artists that really opened it up. Like Halev Sheli, him with Omer Adam is one of the greatest performances in Jewish music history, if you ask me. Yeah. It's ridiculous. And then Ribo was doing all these concerts where he was bringing all these, modern Israeli artists, or even older ones.
Cracked open, people would say, okay, why not that guy? Why not that guy?
Some of those performances are spectacular. You should definitely check them out. I believe there's a live album from one of those concerts with Ribo with a whole bunch of other artists. that's really special. Really, really special.
But yeah, no. So in general, it was really nice, and it was like again, very different people. Like you had like me, and you had like these Israeli kids, and then you had a few locals, even the people that live there, that work there or commute there. A lot of people that do like real estate or like do remote traveling, like they work for
Jewish people in the real estate industry.
Yeah, I know, right? Wow. I was like, "What do you do here?" He's like, "Real estate." I'm like, "Okay."
It's very interesting.
Real estate over there is, by the way, probably amazing. I mean, the pricing over there is amazing. Like you could basically get stuff for $1,500 a month, like a palace.
So I was coming back from somewhere, and it took me off the Triborough Bridge into like the deep Bronx. I'm talking like rundown building, crack house type of Bronx. Okay. And I'm driving through, and some Waze was taking me some crazy way to get to the George Washington Bridge. And randomly on a boarded up building, I see this Hasidish guy sitting in front, taking pictures and writing stuff down on a thing. And I was like, oh, this is going to be the next hot neighborhood. He's here. That's it.
Where's this?
You're too late already.
No, 1 second. No, I'm curious because I remember also like 10 years ago, I was driving by the Bell Parkway, also like a totally not Jewish area, not near the oil, not near anything. And I saw a Hasidish guy there with like a crew, and there was like these.
No, I'm not saying it's going to become a Hasidish neighborhood.
No, it's the opposite. They don't want it to become a Hasidish.
They don't want it to be Hasidish. You're going to see magnificent buildings go up there. I will tell you. Talk about magnificent buildings. Have you driven up on 17 lately to the mountains? You haven't.
No, I have not been like in 10 years.
You have to see what is going on in the Monroe area. These I don't know what they call them, townhouses. These magnificent, endless townhouse developments that have gone up that are stunningly beautiful. I'm talking like there's just something about these Hasidim know how to design buildings beautifully. Yeah. You go through these areas, and it's the same townhouse that you could find in any town in America, but it's just done with such taste and such time. It is magnificent. And you see it's endless. And of course, they always have like, who gets the sukkah porch? That's like a thing. Because
even in Williamsburg, like I'm not talking about like 40 years ago, but like in the last 10 years, a lot of the construction they do, it's tight, obviously, and there are a lot of like brownstones and like knock one next to each other, but they also look nice. It actually reminds me a little bit of like Switzerland, like European, where it's very nice, even though it's tight and there's a lot of it.
But it's simple things. It's just like the facade on the building is nice. There's lighting that hits the building in certain architectural ways and highlights certain things that no one else is doing on their houses. I keep saying to my wife, we should get one of those lights. It's like they just know how to do it. I recently saw a video online from one of the builders who's building down in Lakewood, where also there are these developments going up in the Lakewood and Tom's River.
Well, I was thinking that was the last thing I saw probably like 4 years ago. I was in Tom's River area, Jackson, and they're also just one after the next knocking up.
But they're so beautiful. The guy it was a construction company who was showing off his work. He went into the basement of one of these houses, and he built like a playroom for the tenant of the house. It was literally like a place that people would pay to take their kids to. That's what they have in their basement. I was like, why would people build that in their basement? I'm like, well, guess what? The kids are not sitting on their screens, on their phones, watching and this and that, the other. Let them play.
Yeah, so and they all got out of Brooklyn. No one's doing this in Brooklyn.
I mean, there's still plenty of people in Brooklyn, but people are getting out because it's getting crazy over there.
You mean New York specifically?
New York City specifically is getting a little nuts, but we're not going to take that turn in this show. Let's get back to food.
The last few people that told me they were in Manhattan were telling me that it wasn't so. It's like going down a little bit. It's a shame.
Because there are like
New York, I guess maybe in the golden era. It was like post 9/11. As Giuliani was like bringing it back, like slightly into Bloomberg.
It was the law and order.
Everything was gorgeous, like under the bridge, right. Nice parks and roller skating rinks, and
there weren't 4-block long homeless encampments, but or what are they?
But I don't know. I feel like it's so sad.
Dehoused people encampments, whatever. I don't know.
You see them in a lot of places I travel in America, and it's funny because I was in Dallas, I was in Vegas, I was in Denver like 2 years ago, and every one of those places right by the highway You're like, oh, it's not like a just here thing. It's like everywhere. It's very sad.
I mean, in LA is crazy. You go
Yeah, and
from
when I was in LA too, also like that.
when
right?
you go from like homeless encampment to $100 million houses within a block. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Really
and that's
nuts.
what's funny about like a place like Ecuador or these like none of the houses are really super nice, but everyone seems to be in one.
Everyone's happy.
I didn't see any people sleeping on the streets. I have not. I literally did not see a single homeless
That hey,
person
maybe it's
in any of those
something.
countries that I've been to. I mean, yeah, again, the houses itself are not like amazing, but it's just cheaper. Everything's cheaper there.
So you are Sruli cooks. Let's talk about the food. What was the food like in South America?
The food is really nice, really good. Obviously, it's like a lot of like Latin culture, like heat,
Cilantro everywhere. So even though, hold on, brief health warning, you can't eat cilantro apparently because it's covered in whatever that's part of it's elite. Oh my goodness, no one can eat any. It's crazy. So I actually saw something very funny on Instagram yesterday, which is so wait, you're telling me that I can't go outside because of the air quality, and I can't eat any vegetables because of the bugs, so I should stay inside and eat donuts, which is brilliant.
Well, I saw someone, she posted herself eating pizza, and she was like, "I've been practicing for this."
Yeah, I've been training my whole life for this.
Yeah.
So tell us about some of the food that you ate down there. Was it like very Latin?
In the Chabad house, it was more
schnitzel potato kugel.
Yeah, I mean, it's like first of all, they're also catering to the Israelis, so they want to give them like that matbucha and that
shakshuka,
and like a more like cholent was more like chamin. It was like very soupy also. It was good. It was very good. And the matbucha also, he was like, "Is this too spicy?" I was like, "It wasn't so spicy. It was like a good spice, but he put tons of garlic in." So I was like, "I love garlic. This is a lot of garlic." So he's like, "Okay, how do I fix it?" So I was like helping him out a little bit. But they just cooked nonstop Thursday night and Friday. They had these 3 Israeli girls that were determined to make babka. They told the rabbi, they're like, "Yossi, we're making babka right now." They went to the kitchen and they made babka and cinnamon rolls and stuff. That was really cool.
Awesome.
They don't have certain things, like for some reason it's hard to get cheese there, I guess, but they had a lot of meat, so we ate a lot of meat stuff. And then like
is the meat from Argentina like it is in Muncie or not?
I'm not sure. I think they get the meat locally, actually. Like there's like a sheikha or something, or somewhere in Ecuador or somewhere in South America they get it from. They don't get it from outside South America, but it was very fresh and it was very good. And then they have like every night, like you could basically order food just from the kitchen there. So you have like burgers, and they had challah schnitzel sandwich, nice. And shawarma. You know, anything that you want, pasta. Like they'll make it for you, basically. You know, I went in and cooked a little bit. Also, that was fun. Like I said, I also made some shakshuka and some other. You know, I bought a lot of stuff. There's where you fly into is a city called Guayaquil, and it's an airport there, and that's like a semi-big city on that side. And then where I stayed was 2.5 hours away, so I had to. What do you call it? I
have this vision of you getting there in like one of those tuk-tuk or rickshaw kind of cars.
Yeah, it was a regular, thankfully, but it was pretty cheap actually, which is one of the reasons why I like going to South and Central America. It's much cheaper. But there's a kosher restaurant in Guayaquil, which is 2.5 hours away from where I was. And there's like a little bit of a community there, not a lot, but the Chabad there has been around longer and it's more established, but it's more like urban over there. He has a restaurant there, so I got a bunch of food there, and then I brought it back with me to Montanita because, I could go over to the Chabad house and get some food in the evening, but like, what if I want breakfast? What if I want lunch? Or what if I don't want to schlep to the Chabad house? So like little containers of rice and like baba ganoush and salmon and different things, potatoes. They have like these home fried potatoes. They have like little containers. So I got a bunch of those, and then every night it was just like cutthroat kitchen or like chopped. We were like, okay, these are the 7 things that I have.
Got to figure out how to make something.
What am I making with this? I have
not going at the Casey market.
No, I had some frozen burgers. So I had 1 frozen burger left over, so I like defrosted it, and then I fried up the potatoes that were from the home fries. Like reheat them, put some oil and some water in there, just give them a little bit more of rehydration, and I added the ground beef. And then what else was in there? It was so random. Oh, the rice. I had like a container of rice, so then I like rehydrated the rice also. I was like, I don't even know what this is, but sure, it tastes good. Just like repurposing all the food to make it fresh and keep it going. The shakshuka I made was amazing. I mean, fresh ingredients are just, you can't really beat fresh ingredients. You really can't.
Do they have like a big stock of like vegetables and things like that they grow locally?
Yeah, everything looks like literally it was pulled out of someone's backyard. That's literally what it looks like. It's not. It's funny because I was thinking to myself, if you take one of these people that run one of these markets and fly them to like a Whole Foods in LA, their eyes will explode. They're like,
so those are
so much. It's so big and so bright, and their stuff doesn't look like that, which is not necessarily bad.
I mean, if you've seen the videos of the Europeans going to the American, like the Walmarts and the Costco's and the rest
our stuff is so commercialized. I mean, even if you look at the history of vegetables and fruits, what they looked like originally 100 years ago, 200 years ago versus what they look like today, we made them pretty and beautiful and big,
but they taste terrible.
And they're not so great for you because they spray so much stuff on it. And they use all.
Have you ever seen actual farm raised beef that goes from the farm to the showcase versus commercially processed beef, which goes from the commercial whatever farm to the commercial?
I'm telling you, I think that the meat outside of America is just better. I mean, even in Israel, it's much better. In Europe,
sure.
I had when I was in Amsterdam, I was eating over there at the restaurant there, and I couldn't believe how it just doesn't taste heavy, like everything is just lighter. I don't know. I can't.
Well, I mean, shout out to the Clappy and Frank podcast, which I love listening to on my drives, especially when you listen to it on double speed, because Clappy talks fast to begin with, and when you get him on double speed, it's like super fast. But he was talking about the supermarket in Crown Heights, KC, but no, what's it called? Something. I don't know. No, CH Butcher. He's talking about how all their meat is actually American meat as opposed to what you get in a lot of the other places, which is international meat. And if you look at the colors of some of it, it's like, what color is that? That's not the real color you're supposed to get, as opposed to, some freshly shechted, freshly cleaned meat. It's a whole different ballgame. It really is.
I mean, I couldn't eat any other food, obviously, in Ecuador, but I was able to look at.
I hope you only drank bottled water, right? Right?
Yeah, I only drink bottled water whenever I travel. In general, I'm not taking any chances.
Don't even brush your teeth with anything that comes out of the faucet.
When I was I forgot where I was in. One of the places I visited, they were like, "Yeah, don't drink when you're brushing your teeth. To spit it out. Don't drink it." I'm like, first of all, who swallows when they brush?
Yeah, who swallows that? That's gross.
Second of all, noted. That's not a risk I'm going to be taking anytime soon.
Bottled water onto the toothbrush. Thank you.
What was I going to say? Oh, I just like to watch like the street cooks and stuff like that. They have a guy there that had like a little tuk-tuk with a little back end that had like a flat air surface, and he was just like mobile pizza. And I was like, sure, okay. Like it's just not like a kitchen. Like even when you go into like a kosher gas station where they like make you an egg and omelet sandwich, and you're like, wow, he's really working on difficult conditions. These guys are literally working off the back of a truck, and they're making full breakfasts, dinners, lunches, whatever you want.
I at one point got into watching those videos of the Indian street food guys. Okay, so. It is, first of all, I would never eat that food with just from a cleanliness perspective. It's beyond.
I don't know. The tourists eat.
But watching how they cook, literally, it's the back of a motorcycle that they put like a 2x4 of wood, which is their cutting board. They use these knives, which are literally like. I think it's exactly like, I don't even know. It's an industrial blade that they turn into a knife, and they're cutting like vegetables. They like do a whole cucumber like 10 seconds. And then they're frying eggs and did it on the back of like a spatula and a thing. And they make these like incredible sandwiches. And I'm like,
the food looked good. It looked good.
But I would never eat it.
Empanadas, and you could tell, empanadas, but they have like a dozen different shapes of empanadas, and each one has a different thing in it. I don't know, a lot of fried dough, like that type of thing. Like empanada style food, a lot of that. A lot of sandwiches, a lot of fruit mixed into stuff, like mango, obviously, and other things like that. Very tropical. But they also they drink a lot of like smoothies of like sog like what's like wheatgrass or like bamboo or pineapples, random stuff. I don't know.
My
Like,
stomach hurts just thinking about these things. That's the kind
yeah.
of stuff that
And
gives
then
you a cleanse, as they say.
the Shabbos food was really good. Everything that the Chabad house made was amazing. And what else did they make? Oh, the fruit was actually also very different. Like they had cut up like watermelon and pineapple. It's hard to describe it.
Well, I will tell you one of
It sounds bad because it's like more like slippery and like glossy, but it was actually sweeter and more fresh.
one of
Like
the big
like
trending.
pineapple is like almost dry sometimes. Like
Yeah,
you bite into it, it's sweet, but like the texture is very like rugged.
yeah.
Here, the texture is more like a mango. It's like very slimy, like slippery, like sugary.
But is it good?
Yeah, very sweet, very good.
One of the big trending topics right now is it's the 9 days, of course, and you can't do your Cholent and chill. So first of all, Cholent and chill guy posted, which I sent to you, that par of Cholent is not Cholent.
Yeah.
Okay, which whatever, we could talk about that. But what do you do? What do you do if you need to have what replaces Cholent in the 9 days? There really isn't anything other than par of Cholent. I don't know.
I had a Pokeball.
You had a Pokeball?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I eat so much meat during the week. I eat chicken during the week, maybe schnitzel or like chicken.
So I
but not
I
so much,
do
like,
happen to regularly go to I go to the Ribnitzer Cave on Thursday nights with a great friend whenever I can, and we go to Leil Shishi after, which, by the way, I believe has 8 different kinds of cholent, including par of cholent,
This is the
which I
place
know isn't
called
really cholent.
Leil Shishi?
I'm sorry,
This
Leil
is the
Shishi.
place that's called Leil Shishi, right?
It's called Leil Shishi. It is the spot in the Muncie area for Leil Shishi food.
Wow.
It is, you go, I think they're open till like 3 or 4 in the morning on Thursday nights. It is crazy, the scene that goes on there. They have all these different kinds of cholent, and they're awesome. They're absolutely awesome. They also have all this like different kind of like Heimish foods that you wouldn't really get in any place except a place like that.
Right.
Really, really, some really good pastrami wrapped kishka fingers. Who knew that's a thing? They're delicious. They also have this like onion deli roll thing that only has onion in it. Have you ever seen that before? It's amazing.
I don't know.
It's really amazing. Really, really, really good food and a really great spot. Shout out to Leil Shishi. But like, I think they were closed last night because nobody's gonna. I don't know. I didn't know.
Like the Leil Shishi place, like I work with and go for, they were closed. They're closed this week and next week because next week is like actually Tisha B'Av. And
Well, you do have some restaurants that do that. Like you do have some restaurants that do that. Like, hey, there's going to be a Siyum on Tuesday night, and like it's
right.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. I'm not gonna do that.
I don't know if that's what God had in mind. By the way, you know,
It's like
when
a backyard version, but like in a commercial way, you can't really do that. But also next week Thursday is actually Tisha B'Av.
is actually so the Cholent and Chill
You
guy is
can't
actually
break your fast on meat anyway.
on meat.
So-
I like that guy's video, the Cholent and Chill guy's videos. I like his videos. He's got this way of showing the meat in the cholent that's very, very cool.
Yeah.
He also finds. I mean, I would love to get a number on how many cholent spots are there in Israel, like that are like Thursday night only cholent spots. It seems that there are hundreds of them.
Yeah, I
It
think
really
there are
does.
hundreds. I think when I was in Bnei Brak, he was telling me, I don't know, I think he said over 200 in Bnei Brak, which does seem
In
like,
Bnei Brak alone.
Yeah.
And again, as we heard from Yehuda Jacobs, the Israeli foodie, many of them are literally just like Shlomi's living room.
Yeah.
With Malki in the back making the eggs with Sibila. Cholent with Sibila. Right? Did I say that right? I don't know.
I think so. Tzvibala. Yeah, that's Tzvibala.
Sibila. All right. So let's talk about what's coming up on the Cholent with Digital Dove and Srilly Cooks. So coming up on the Cholent Digital Dove, we're going to have a whole sandwich episode.
Yes.
Sandwich culture has taken over the Jewish food scene. It is crazy what's going on. We're also going to talk
say about sandwiches.
a lot to say about sandwiches. Actually, I have a whole Digital Dove trivia category now on sandwiches. I've used it in a bunch of the Hamish camps. Let me tell you, these guys know their sandwiches, or at least some guys do their
We're
sandwiches.
talking about the guy who's talking about his tuna sub, his tuna sandwich, the Chassish guy. What's it called? The milk pot, something like that.
Is he from London? That guy?
I don't know,
He
but
is.
he's popping up everywhere.
He's in
He was
London, I
out
think.
offering people to try either the Subway sub with the tuna or his sub, and people were like, "Oh, I love your sub; it's so good."
I'm pretty sure he's in London. But we're gonna have a whole episode on sandwiches and maybe bring on some sandwich experts. Ooh,
Yes.
wait and see. All right. We're about to hit the 40-minute mark, which means we got to stop. Digital Dove, Swilly Cooks. Hope you enjoyed the Cholent. Like and subscribe. We'll see you at the next show.
Take care.